Hello, everyone, and welcome to Goldfish.
Boys.
It is me and Sam here.
Mm-hmm.
We are going to review and talk about the new movie that we just watched called Ballerina. Ballerina, continuation of the John Wick franchise. Sam, I want to say it's really special and very, very enjoyable to be here with you today.
Yeah.
How's your day going?
Pretty good. Yeah, I got to watch a movie with you. So
Yeah.
that's like the best it can be.
Always a good day. We're missing our third Goldfish boy, Seth.
Fortunately.
He is in the motherland. He is having fun. I don't know, Sam. Have you been catching up on his Instagram? Have you been keeping up?
I've seen a few of them, and I saw a monkey on
Yeah.
one of them. So I know he's having a good time.
Oh, he's having a good time. I was seeing some of the videos. It looks like he's like back in his home. You know what I mean? Like
back to his roots.
I don't know if I've ever seen Seth enjoy anything
Like-
more than that.
And be like that, like high energy. Yeah.
High energy, animated. It looks like bro's having the time of his life. I'm kind of concerned that he might not come back. Do you think he will?
To be fair, I wouldn't mind if we just fly over there and film Goldfish Boys every Thursday.
Film Goldfish Boys. Yeah, it's funny because Seth actually texted in a group chat with us saying that he might record an episode there with some of his cousins, and I'd love to see that.
What movie would they watch?
Dude, I don't know. I wonder if it'd be in English. Because they speak, I forgot what they speak.
Tagalog?
Yeah, there you go.
First pod
Yeah.
in a different language?
Oh, that'd be a banger. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
Do you think you could get your family to do one in Spanish?
Now we just be arguing.
I would like to hear. Okay, if your parents had to pick a movie, or your sister,
Mhm.
which one? What do you think they'd pick?
My parents, they pick like a Western.
Oh, really?
Right,
Are they
yeah.
into that?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's like the stuff they like.
Yeah.
And then for my
I
sister,
feel like your sister would have some wild movie choices.
yeah, she's like no, it's like pretty basic ones. It's like Pitch Perfect or
Okay.
what's that other movie? White Chicks. something
White
like
Chicks?
that? Yeah.
Oh,
Mhm.
White Chicks. Have you seen White Chicks?
I haven't.
Dude, it's
Yeah.
gas. We
It's
watched it at Thompson Movie Club recently.
Oh, okay. I guess
Yeah,
I
it's
gotta hop
gas.
on.
Yeah. But yeah, so we miss our friend Seth, but we're happy he's having a good time. And just to clear up some housekeeping stuff, so we just dropped the episode of Heat, which is our kind of season 1 finale. This upcoming Monday, which will, for you guys, you've already seen it. We're gonna drop The Irishman, and then this Ballerina review is gonna drop. We're gonna record some episodes while Seth is gone, and then Seth will be back. We'll get into season 2. And Sam, are you excited about season 2?
I'm very excited for season 2.
Yeah.
We're gonna have a lot of diversity. So I
Mhm.
know some people might be tired of gangster films. Not me.
Oh,
Right.
some
No,
people.
some
Don't name them. Don't name them. Yeah, we're gonna have some diversity in the genre of movie, the decade of movie, like the era.
Yeah,
we're gonna have
recent films like this.
Like
right?
this, yeah.
And then we're gonna have just some like throwbacks.
throwbacks. Yeah, and some all-time greats. We're gonna have diversity in the racial makeup of the guests on the pod, right?
We're gonna
have some
We're gonna
banger
have a
pods.
lot of guests.
Yeah,
yeah. Mhm.
We have some exciting guests lined up. So just wanted to clear that up. And we know that we missed a couple weeks of uploading. We're sorry about
Sorry,
that,
guys.
but Seth was in the motherland, and we had some file issues. So we'll get back into it. We're gonna start with this movie is Ballerina. So Seth,
Yeah.
I mean, sorry. Whoa, whoa.
Dude,
I
that
was
happened
projecting.
so much in high school.
What's up?
That happened so much in high school.
Oh, yeah?
Like us
People would
mixed up.
call you-
Yeah, we got mixed up. We got mixed up in the yearbook.
Really?
Yeah.
Wait, what happened?
Oh, there's a picture of me like
Oh shoot.
at one of the dances, right?
Yeah.
And it just says Seth Andel.
No
or like,
way.
yeah.
Really? I
So-
actually didn't know that.
That was
To
pretty
me,
fun.
you guys didn't look that like in high school, but I can actually see it. And
With the
now
glasses?
you guys look alike.
We
You're
do?
always wearing black.
Oh yeah, we do like dress
Yeah.
pretty much the same.
Yeah, you got
That's-
same similar haircut. So yeah, that's pretty cool. So Sam, going into this Ballerina, this 2025, we just saw at Draft House.
Mm.
Actually let me tell the viewers a little bit about this. This is a continuation of the John Wick franchise. There's been 4 John Wick films, and this is the one that came out this year. It's not directly related to the franchise, but it is. I guess you would call it like a.
Spin-off?
Is that what you call it? don't
I
know.
would say
Yeah,
it's not
spin-off.
directly related, but it's
Yeah.
like derived from the
Exactly.
same universe.
John Wick is literally in the movie,
Yeah,
but it's not John Wick 5.
Sorry, spoilers. I
Yeah,
guess, you know.
spoilers. So this movie is not directed by the person who directed the other ones.
Oh, it's different?
It's Lynn Wiseman is the director of this one. The other ones were done by Chad Stahelski. We're making a tradition. Every time me and Sam host a podcast, I pronounce the director's name wrong.
Oh yeah.
Because last time we had like Sergio Leone or something like that. So John Wick is directed by Chad Stahelski or something like that.
That sounds
So-
good to me.
Yeah, so this one is directed by Lynn Weissman, starring Anna de Armas. Keanu Reeves, of course, and Norman Reedus, our guy
Norman Reedus
from
The Walking
Dead.
Yeah.
Which how much have you seen?
The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
I stopped watching when. Sorry guys, spoilers for The Walking Dead. If you haven't watched
no,
it, it's been
spoilers.
like almost 10 years, I think.
Spoilers.
Season 5 when Glenn died. That's when I stopped watching.
Oh, okay. Season 5. Okay.
I'm pretty sure it was.
I think I stopped around like season 4.
Season 4?
I heard that the first 3 seasons were like peak.
They
television.
were like peak television.
Yeah.
Like everybody was watching it. Yeah.
All the stuff in the prison.
Yeah, the prison, like a whole turf war that they had. Yeah,
dude, that was like peak TV. And then after that, I'm pretty sure it went on for 11 seasons. It could have been more.
Way too long.
So I stopped watching. You stopped watching, but we're glad to see our guy back.
Yeah. Great actor.
Going into this movie, what were your expectations? What do you know about it?
Okay, so as you know, I told you this right before the movie started.
Yeah.
Right. I have not seen any John Wick films.
Okay.
So this is like my first experience into even the universe of John Wick. And you've seen all 4 of them?
I have seen all 4.
Okay. So I thought standalone wise, it was still a good movie. Right? Even though I didn't watch all the other John Wick movies, I still enjoyed it.
Sure.
Right? There was some stuff, right, that I am still lost on though.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And we'll get into that like when we
some later,
some
later
spoiler
down the
stuff.
line.
But what do you think? Because you actually have like movie context.
Yeah, movie context. Yeah. So me and Seth were talking about it. Our third Goldfish boy. I was pleasantly surprised with how this movie turned out to be. It is not my favorite movie. It's not, in my opinion, like a great movie.
Okay.
But it is good. It's solid. It's pleasantly surprising and fun for what it was heard to be. In the larger like film discourse, people saw the trailers, they saw the sneak peeks, and they were like, "This might be pretty rough." I saw the trailer. I'm not a big trailer guy, but I did see the trailer for this movie. It didn't look super good, so I'm surprised and pleasantly surprised with how it turned out.
That's good. So how would you compare this to like the John Wick films? Obviously, it's not as good as you're saying, but like, would you say it was like similar? Would you say like the vibes were like?
Yeah, I mean, I think it was a similar film in terms of the action. The action was great. Of course, all 4 John Wick films are better than this, in my opinion. I think most people would concur with that opinion. The action was similar. The movie plotline was similar. I think simply the fact on performances and storyline was just second tier compared to the rest of the John Wick films.
That's fair. I've heard a lot of praise over John Wick films. I just haven't gotten to watching them.
Yeah,
so
for sure. So what did you think of? Let's break the film down into a couple categories. First, what did you think of the action in the movie? Should we get into spoilers?
I feel like it's a good time. Yeah.
1,
might as well, right?
2, 3.
Spoilers!
All right.
So much quieter.
Yeah.
So yeah, spoilers at this point. Action, I would say it was okay.
Yeah.
There was a lot of stuff that I questioned though, and I feel like that might be because I didn't have context.
Yes. Okay.
Right? So they were talking a lot about the rules.
Yeah.
Right. And how, like, at one point she was like, "I didn't kill anyone, so I didn't break any rules." Right.
Yeah.
And I'm like, but she does it like 10 minutes later.
Sure.
I don't know who she's allowed to kill or not. And at some points, like, they had, like a gun available to use, right?
Yeah.
And they didn't use it. Like, they just like went, hand to hand.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm like, is it a rule like you can't shoot them? Is that a rule?
I see what you mean. Yeah. So no, it's not a rule. So the rules. In the John Wick films, it's been a while since I've seen them.
Okay.
I don't know if they're ever specifically laid out, but what they mean by rules is like there's like essentially like one or 2 rules that are like the big rules. The rules are on the continental property, no business can be done. So there's continental hotels all around, I guess, the world. So they were in one. The guy that at the beginning of the movie took the little girl and said, "I'm going to show you your family. I'm going to take care of you." That guy. Yeah. That guy runs the continental hotels. I don't know if he runs all of them or just one, but the rule is that you can't do fighting on continental grounds because it's like a safe place, if that makes sense. So the reason why like they kept on saying like you remember how they executed the
other 2
people?
right? That's because they fought
and they fought on continental. And that's happened multiple times in all the movies is that they fight on continental grounds and then they get in trouble.
Okay.
Was there any other rules that the gun thing?
Like, was that just like up to them?
I guess that was up to them. But which specific parts are you talking about?
There was like quite a few.
Yeah.
Like just one specific one that I could say is Do you remember when she was at the gun store?
Mm-hmm.
Right, and then she was like looking around for something to use.
Yeah.
She just went like through 3 guns or 3 like different items, right? And they were all guns. Then she only went for the grenades. I don't know if that was just because like she had a plan for them or
maybe.
Yeah,
I don't know about that to be honest.
But
Yeah. So on the action, other than not having really too much context, what did you think of like what we saw on the screen?
I thought it was all right. There were some scenes that like definitely didn't look like all too clean.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm like, that's definitely not like
Realistic?
No, I wouldn't say realistic because I'm not expecting realistic. Right?
Yeah.
But it's like you see her like flip someone around, like double her size, right? And I guess realistic, right? But still, something like that, Yeah. And I was like, huh.
That was one of the biggest things that took me to get adjusting into the John Wick films. When I saw the first one, I was essentially like, this is not really my thing because none of this is realistic, and like they're not. Obviously, it's an action film, and so it's not going to be like realistic per se. It's essentially like how dope can you make the action look?
Yeah,
I think that's really interesting about this franchise.
That's I think what you're mainly asking, right? How it looked. Right?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought it just looked okay. It wasn't like anything crazy.
Sure.
Yeah. What do you think?
I think one thing that's interesting about this franchise is like, and this is not only the John Wick franchise. This is like the action genre in general. It's like you really do have to remove the reality of it. But the thing is like, it has to be attached to reality in some ways. Yeah. Right?
Like at some point to keep us grounded.
Exactly. And if you make it look like too cheesy, then they're not going to like it. But you still have to make it look dope. So the action in this movie I thought was solid. I like when they have creative ways of doing the action. Like, for example, the flamethrower stuff. The whole like 10 minutes, 15 minutes that we got of the flamethrower stuff. I thought that was pretty cool. I thought it was like a cool take on some of the action stuff. In the John Wick franchise, we see a lot of like hand-to-hand and then guns, of course. There's like so many guns. I thought this was a cool thing that I don't really think we've seen before in the John Wick franchises. I didn't think the action was like incredible.
Top-notch or anything?
I thought it was solid. Like, take this over any other action movie that's come out this year, and this is most likely better
this year.
Action film.
Okay.
Yeah, this year. Because, I mean, like, most action films that come out nowadays are crap. So
one thing that I thought like would be more revolving around the action was the ballet stuff. Like she did a bit of it, right?
Yeah.
Like, but I thought it would be like a lot more. Like I thought there would be like pretty much like a whole choreography like dance for the fights. But
that's a good point.
There's very little of that. I was hoping for more of that.
Yeah. How did you feel about the ballerina concept? Like,
I mean, it wasn't a bad concept. I understand like why they added it because like they're training them, right? And it's kind of like a front at the same time. So, wasn't bad. I don't know like John Wick's backstory, and I don't know if it was similar at all. Like, but this makes sense. And also, like, I didn't know who the director?
The director, yeah.
Yeah, and like the counselor and the all those people were.
Yeah,
right. I just knew they were powerful people.
Sure. I don't think, so the ballerina storyline comes from the fact that.
Wait, let me make sure we're.
Yeah, we're good.
Are we?
We're just for the viewers. We're making sure that we're still recording. If we by chance aren't recording, then we can just continue the audio and worry about the video.
Okay, we're good.
We're good. Okay, thank God. All right, so the thing with the ballerina is that in the previous movies, I believe it set up the fact that there was some ballerina, like the little girl.
Oh, so that was established.
I think so. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure but it was just some like small speck. And this movie happened during the events of the third John Wick.
That's another thing I was wondering. I was like, is this a prequel or is this like a after all the 4 movies? So I wanted to ask you that because you would know more.
Sure.
So.
And I don't really know that much about this movie, but yes, it's during the third movie, and so. I don't know how I felt about the ballerina, like the concept. Obviously, we got like montages of her like doing
dancing, and but it wasn't like that important.
It wasn't that important.
I feel like they tried to make it feel important, especially with that like her friend, like just being ignored, right? Like by the and being sent off,
sent off. Yeah,
I feel like that was kind of like pointless,
right?
Because we didn't like connect at all to her friend. You know? Like when she was sent away, I was like, all right.
Yeah, exactly. I thought the ballerina thing was an interesting thing to like zoom in on and focus on. I didn't find it really all that compelling. I'm trying to think of the symbolism behind the ballerina stuff, other than the fact that the movie needed a theme, right? Because like I don't know. You could just call it like
like a
daughter of person somewhat related to John Wick. Blah blah blah. Right. I mean,
but that wouldn't be good, right?
Exactly.
Like, you need your own.
Yeah, you need
staple.
your own thing. Yeah. So I mean, it makes sense. But
what would you say though is like the best action scene?
Best action scene, man. I'm gonna have to say the flamethrower stuff.
The flamethrower
stuff.
Yeah,
like at the end.
That's a pretty good one.
What did you think?
Mine was the John Wick one, with her, like when they're at the abandoned like building area.
Her versus John Wick.
Yeah,
yeah.
That was
Pretty
my favorite part.
I mean, you're talking about John Wick like being the best. Like Keanu Reeves is amazing.
It was like one-sided. It was new gen versus OG, right?
Yeah.
And she just got stomped, right? So.
Based on that scene alone, do you think that you would like the John Wick stuff?
I think so. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I actually think that you would really like the John Wick stuff because John Wick is all about like aura. like
yeah, he was aura farming.
He was aura farming. Yeah, for all our Gen Alpha listeners. He was a skibidi whatever that is called. Skibidi D in Ohio or something like that. I sound like a boomer right now. But yeah, so I think you would like John Wick.
Probably.
I found it really interesting, like how they mixed John Wick into this film.
Oh, like okay, how they incorporated him.
Yeah.
I liked the way they did it.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't like intrusive. I felt like
because
it didn't feel like he was affecting the storyline too much. Because again, he did let her do her own thing.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I think it's kind of a cool like handoff. I don't know what John Wick's role will be in the rest of these movies. He's obviously I think he'll still be a part of it. When the first time that we saw John Wick was early on in the film when they brought him into the or when he went into the school, the ballerina school, and they were talking to him, and then she talks to him.
I was just like asking, like, how do you get out?
How do you get out? Yeah. I thought that was interesting, how they used him like that. I was expecting kind of like, I like that the theme of John Wick being like this incredible fighter is like seen throughout the movie, because remember how they were like mid scene and they were like, dude, it's John Wick.
It's John Wick. That's suicide. And he's like, it's just one guy. And it's like 2 seconds later.
Yeah. And they even used his nickname, which I forgot.
Baba Yaga.
There you go.
The Boogeyman.
Do you know what that? Oh yeah, but the Boogeyman.
The Boogeyman.
That means? Okay.
I've heard it. Just around John Wick. So that's why I do remember that.
I think that's really cool.
It is a cool nickname.
Yeah, how they did that. What did you think? Let's move on from the action. What did you think about the performances? Like, let's not zoom in on action, but just performances. Ana de Armas, Keanu Reeves, the guy who plays from The Walking Dead. the dude, Daryl, right? Daryl.
I forgot it too.
Yeah,
I was gonna say Glenn, but but no, the performances were good. Keanu Reeves, he did great in all the other John Wicks, right? And this one he had very little screen time, but. I really liked him in every scene. He was aura farming. Right. So
he was aura farming.
Yeah, he just brings that presence.
Yeah.
For the main lead, what was her name? Ana de Armas. Something like that.
Ana de Armas. Yeah.
We won't get it right.
No, we will never get it right.
But I think she did solid. To be honest, I kind of liked how she was more stoic, because I feel like a lot. I was going to this. I was like, is this going to be another Marvel like movie? Like where she's quippy and like making like.
Like dumb corny jokes.
Yeah, so I liked how she was like pretty stern and serious. So I enjoyed her role a lot. And then for Daryl, The Walking Dead, sorry, I can't remember his actor's name.
I think it's Norman something.
Norman.
It is Norman Reedus.
Norman Reedus. Okay, yeah. He very small part.
Yeah.
Honestly, his role didn't do much for me.
Yeah.
He was just mainly a few dialogue scenes.
Sure. I kind of wish that, like, speaking on Norman Reedus or Reedus or something, I kind of wish we got more of him.
Yeah.
Did you feel that?
I feel like it was more like he was just there to catch eyes.
Yeah.
Right. But.
And it's weird because like he doesn't have a big acting career other than The Walking Dead. And whenever you see him in a movie, you're like, oh, he's from The Walking Dead. Like he's yet to have a movie where it's like, I don't know his whole extensive movie career, but he's definitely like The Walking Dead core. I wish we got more of him. I loved Ana de Armas. I thought she did really good. So what you were saying about how it kind of being more stoic and like even-headed compared to like the Marvel stuff that we see, that's the vibe. I'm sure you could tell. That's the vibe of the John Wick films. Is that Keanu Reeves like doesn't talk.
He's just
very
business.
Much. He's business. He's aura farming. we should call this episode aura farming. Sam and Elijah are aura farming for this episode.
That's the title.
These movies are very like very much like that, and they're just like they're really cool. They're not cringy. They're not funny. Like Keanu Reeves is not funny.
You're there for the action.
You're there for the action, and that's why he's good at this stuff. Because I don't know if you heard him in movies with dialogue, but he's not like
Keanu Reeves.
He's not all that for dialogue.
I think I've known a few of them where he has dialogue, but I don't think that's where he shined.
No, for sure not. What else have you seen Keanu Reeves in?
I don't remember what movie it's called. And
have you seen The Matrix? You haven't, right?
No.
You have not.
Is he in The Matrix?
He is in The Matrix. He's like the main dude in The Matrix.
Oh, he is?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, Seth and I saw The Matrix a little bit ago. Or not, actually, like a while ago, actually, now. I hated it, but...
Seth does not like that take.
Seth does not like that take. And then were there any other performances that stood out to you? No.
Speaking of which, who do you think stole the movie?
Oh, stole the movie. Okay, let's see.
I have a pick, but I want you to go first.
Okay, so I'm gonna go a little bit outside of the box here. The Lance Reddick, who just has a little short thing. He is the black guy that checks them into the hotel.
Yeah,
right?
I saw him, and I can't remember his name, but I do like him as an actor.
So he's in all of the French or all of these films, John Wick 1 through 4. In real life, he died, and I don't know. I forgot if it was like cancer or something. I think it was medical. He died, unfortunately. He's like a legendary actor in terms. I mean, these are definitely his biggest films, but people loved him. This is what he looks like. He's this guy.
So did they film this before he passed away? Or
that was one of my questions that I'm gonna like look up and see. And if the viewers know, maybe they could comment. But
down.
Yeah,
we don't know.
I assume that they just used footage from the rest of the films. I'm sure they have so much extra footage.
Extra footage. Just that makes sense.
I thought it was a cool like nod to him.
So you think he stole the movie?
I just kind of used that to like talk about the reason why I like him. So you go, and then I'll say who I actually think stole the movie.
I had 2 picks. First, it was Frank, right? Okay. The gun store dealer, right?
The who?
The gun store dealer.
Oh yes, right? Yes, dude. He was one of the few like funny.
Yeah,
he was funny.
So I enjoyed him, right?
Yeah.
But he had such a small part that it didn't like do much. I think who stole the movie was I don't know the actor's name.
Yeah.
And I don't even know his name in the movie.
Okay.
Directly.
Yeah.
Right. It was the old guy in the very beginning. Do you know who I'm talking about?
Old guy. Okay. Was it this guy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
So he was in the movie here and there more, right? Like he wasn't only at the beginning. So he's in all the other movies too.
He is.
His name is Ian McShane for the viewers. He's the guy who plays the what do they call him? They call him Winston. Winston, and he's the I guess you could call him the Continental like.
Yeah,
not the director,
he runs
but like
right?
he runs it. Yeah, the Chancellor is that his name or no the Chancellor is the other
Chancellor. Yeah, the Chancellor's the other old guy.
Yeah, Gabriel Bryan is the Chancellor, but yeah, Ian McShane who plays Winston, who is like the person who runs the Continental. He's like the face of the Continental. Dude, he's a good actor.
He's a great actor.
You liked him? What did you like about his performance?
He reminded me of Giancarlo Esposito. Do you know who that is?
Yeah, I do.
Like a boss.
Oh,
like
just a big boss
who is like very calm, organized, but he's still in control of everything. Yeah.
Talk about aura farming. He's aura farming right there.
Yeah.
He's
like when he's just walking around in general. Yeah.
He's all dripped out. He reminds me of like a Michael Caine in the fact that he is very. Do you know Michael Caine? No,
I don't think so.
You know him from? Well, have you seen like the Batmans?
Yeah.
Like Dark Knight and all that stuff.
I've know Michael Caine from the Batmans, but I haven't seen the Batmans.
Okay. Yeah. He plays the butler. He's like the old white guy that plays the butler, and he's been in like a bunch of stuff. He has like this old white man persona that's just like really cool. Like his swag is cool.
Most movies too. Okay.
Yeah. In like all movies. I'm just saying
that's who he reminded you.
Yeah, he reminded me of him. He's great. So that's who stole the movie.
That's who stole the movie for me.
Yeah, for me, I'm gonna go. I loved the directors. Like the director of the Ballerina place. I loved her stuff because it was also very cold. Like I feel like we just had a bunch of like cold, powerful people, and it was kind of a look at what that looked like because you had the director, the Chancellor, the Winston, who is the director of like the Continental. Like not only do we have Anna de Armas like doing a bunch of cool action stuff, but you have like a lot of like really like older people who play some really like ominous parts, and I really enjoyed that.
They're powerful people. They're all like just business.
Yeah.
Like even when they're being threatened with war, like around the end of the movie, right?
Yeah.
She's like, well, how about this?
Yeah.
You know, right? Yeah. He's like, I don't know.
Yeah.
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 So it's just like cutting deals.
I know,
right?
it's crazy, right? It's kind of like, speaking of the mafia films that we've been into.
Oh yeah.
It's kind of adjacent to like these mafia films where it's all about plays, it's all about moves. Death means nothing to these people, right? I mean, this is in like a crazy world. Did you understand the whole like bounty things, like when they put
I know you could like raise bounty, and it's all like in a group, right? Like, you know, they're all have
all
accounts.
The assassins.
Yeah. So I know you could raise it. I don't know what like can get it raised. I assume like, you know, just
I think somebody like pays for it.
Yeah, but I wonder like just what the terms are, like or like what you'd have to do. I guess it's just for the individual. And then speaking of the bounties, she had a $5 million one at the end.
At
put
the
her
end,
third.
yeah.
So I wonder like who's that one? Would that be John Wick?
Sure, yeah. And I wonder who placed it. Do we know who placed it on her?
On her? I think it did show us.
It did. For the viewers, we're talking about the very last scene, where it shows that her bounty has gone up.
Okay, no. It does show us like her bounty getting increased and the person who's like placing it, but it doesn't get showed. It's just like from the other line.
So it's clearly setting you up for
a second movie.
For a second movie, yeah.
Okay.
So switching gears, what did you think of how the movie looked? Well, let's talk about lighting. Let's talk about the frames, the shots. What did you think about that?
Lighting wise, it was good. Like, you know, the shots looked good. They looked nice, right? But there wasn't like a lot of like crazy camera work or anything. It was pretty basic, right, for like the action scenes. And I thought like, you know, we would have had some crazy camera movement for an action movie. Yeah. But I've never seen the other John Wick ones. So at the same time, I don't know if those are known for their like crazy like sequences like that.
I think this was interesting because the shots looked nice. They didn't look bad.
Yeah, like they were.
It was a different style than the other John Wick. This felt to me very like new age, and like there's a lot of like blue and green lasers. There was a lot of like dark with like bright stuff.
Yeah.
And the John Wick films, kind of one of the gimmicks, I think, if I remember correctly, is that like all of them take place in different places around the world. So like for John Wick 2, he goes to the Continental Hotel in this country, and then he goes to the Continental Hotel in this country. And you see they mention in this movie like the Paraguay Continental, like they mentioned some of the different continentals. Okay, not the John Wick films normally don't look like this. They're a little bit more like reflective of the country that they're in. This felt kind of like new agey, like you're saying, bright lights.
Bright lights, modern. Kind of, you know, I want to say techno, but
yeah, like I know. What you mean.
You know, modern.
Yeah, modern. It didn't look bad. It looked cool. It didn't look. It's not like meant to look super authentic or real. It's different. It wasn't bad. So.
But it just really didn't like get much out of me. So
me either.
But I didn't dislike it. So
same. Yeah, we're just kind of neutral on that. Do you have any favorite? Let's go to like favorite shots or scenes.
Favorite shots or scenes.
Yeah, you got anything off the top of your head?
I guess one would just be the flamethrower one, right? Like where it's a top angle, right? And you can see them like spinning. That was a neat one, right? Yeah. And so I'd say out of the whole movie, that one was probably the most that stood out.
My favorite shot of the whole movie, as soon as I saw it, I knew that this is going to be my favorite shot. It was when she was exiting out of the building. It was somewhat like middle of the movie or a little bit early on. She was exiting out of the building after she killed somebody, and she walks out into the street. She gets in her car, backs up. There's a body in between her car and the wall. She backs up. She drives out of the alley into the main road, right? And she like I don't know if it's like runs a red light or just keeps on going, not watching for traffic. And then this big black SUV just rams her.
I remember. Yeah.
I remember. I just loved how that shot got like it didn't change camera angles once.
It's from the top.
It was Is that the one that you were talking about too?
No, I was talking about a different one. But I know exactly which one you're talking about. That was pretty, I guess, early in the movie. Like,
I think so.
Yeah, but that was a good shot. Yeah. When that happened, I was like, dang, that's some pretty bad road rage.
Yeah, no joke. Now that does happen in like the other John Wick movies. Is like some dude just gets, or like since they have the bounties on them, if somebody's hunting you down, they might just like take their car and ram it into you. So it wasn't like it caught me off guard though, because I didn't expect it to. And then it took her, the black SUV pushed her car all the way to where the camera began at. if that makes sense. Like it showed her driving
all the way
off.
back to the basically exit.
Yeah, it panned out a bit, and then as the black car like pushed her forward, it panned back in, and I thought that was a cool little concept there.
Yeah, I guess I didn't really like in the moment realize it that much. I was distracted by the ramming of the car.
The huge ramming. Yeah.
So yeah, good pick.
Yeah, that makes sense. Before we go to our break, let me do our Talladega Nights quote of the movie, and then we can talk about the quote after the movie, after the break. So we're going to do a short one today for viewers. This is Talladega Nights quote of the movie. We like to talk about the quote or two from the film that we're talking about, but we do that by first talking about a quote from my favorite movie, Talladega Nights. You should see it if you haven't already. All right. This is when Ricky Bobby and his arch nemesis in racing, named Pepe Le Pew, who is a French racer that comes to America to beat him. Okay, this is when they're talking, and for some reason, I don't remember why, because they do it multiple times in the movie. I think Pepe Le Pew just walks up to Ricky Bobby and he kisses him on the mouth. Now, keep in mind that Pepe Le Pew is gay and has a husband whose horses are also gay, but he just walks up to Ricky Bobby and he kisses him. And this is what he says. This is what Pepe Le Pew says about Ricky Bobby. He says, "Sir, you taste of America." So yeah, there's
That's
a
Talladega
quote of the movie. Let's go ahead and go to our mid-break, and you're getting a special treat, a video from Seth.
Yeah, have fun with that. So welcome back. Thank you, Seth, for that.
Yeah, Seth, we appreciate it. Yeah. So we just finished the Talladega Nights quote of the movie. So let's talk about, were there any quotes from this movie?
From this movie? Yeah, so there were some interesting like one-liners.
Yeah.
Right? But I think my favorite like quote from the movie would be like when they were freaked out about John Wick, right? Where it was, it was like, this is crazy. Yeah. So I think that's my favorite quote of the movie. Yeah, because it brought me out of the movie, made me laugh. So, yeah.
Do you remember anything, like for me, I can think of a couple things. Do you remember anything that the gun dealer said that was funny?
Let me be frank.
Yeah, let me be frank.
And then the text right there. Yeah. So
for me, that was it. And there were a few things that Winston said that I thought were funny, and I can't remember exactly what they are, but I thought they were cool. So not as, I mean, this movie is not gonna
again, like you said, it's mainly the action, not the dialogue that they go for. But still, there were some nice little one-liners every now and then. Not enough to make it like cringy, like Marvel movies where it's just like every 5 minutes. Yeah. So
you mentioned that there were some things that you wanted to bring up. Let's turn it over to that.
So remember, so at the beginning of the movie, I started taking notes.
Yeah. Sam, my little note taker guy.
Let's see what I wrote out.
Yeah.
All right, so
Sam's note. This could be like a new segment.
A new little
segment.
Sam's
notepad.
Sam's notepad. That'd be fun because I forget most of the things I write. So
thoughts with Sam.
So clan context. I completely forgot about this.
Okay.
There was like so many clans, tribes, cults, right? That I just didn't like know about, right? But it makes sense, right? Yeah. Like there's the ballets people, right? Yeah. I don't know what the name is, right? They mentioned it.
Yeah,
right?
It's something like.
Something Russian or I don't know exactly, different language. And then there's also the ones with the X's on them from the one that the counselor was running, and I'm sure there's more. Right? Yeah, because there was that group on her first mission of all those like
that she was trying to take out.
Yeah. So I think that's just what I needed more of. Do you know anything about the clans?
Yeah. Okay, so if I'm right, there wasn't very much of this like clan stuff in the other movies. This is kind of a new thing. The clan the Ruska Roma is what is the one that her dad was in. The Ruska Romas, and then the cult. The cult is what like his wife was like a cultist. And I don't know more than that. Do you remember what the Ruska Roma was?
Ruska Roma, that's the one the director was running, I'm pretty sure.
The ballet one?
Ballet one.
Okay, gotcha. Yes, that makes sense. Yes.
So that was one thing I wrote down.
Interesting take.
Right?
Did you find that confusing, like the whole clan stuff?
A little bit, right? But like I didn't need too much context. It made sense. You have two different clans. Yeah. One
they hate each other.
Kind of like they don't like to associate.
Sure.
All right, so that made sense.
Yeah.
Another thing that I wrote down pretty early on, because it caught me off guard. There was a few accents.
Yeah.
At the start of the movie.
Uh-huh.
And my first thought was just like, where are the subtitles?
Oh.
Right? So, one thing is, I thought Elijah would have some gripes about that.
Okay.
Yeah, because I know how he is.
You know I love my subtitles.
I know he loves his subtitles, especially with those Italian accents.
Like, those thick Italian accents.
So
no, what do you mean accents?
There was that one lady that was like kind of her teacher at the beginning. Sequences.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm talking about? She had like those earrings and all that. So, and
absolutely.
I was like, this is something probably Elijah.
I did I would appreciate some subtitles. That'd be nice. That'd be nice.
So one thing for Elijah, that I was checking out for, and then for my last note, I only wrote 3 because I was running out of ink.
Yeah, at Draft House they aren't very generous with the ink there. Sparingly inked.
So another thing that I wrote down was we did mention this about the friend. Yeah. I just want to bring this up again.
Yeah.
Because it really did almost nothing for the movie.
Yeah.
I can't even remember her name. Do you?
Oh, me either. No.
So
you mean when they threw her out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, do you think they were trying to like build like an emotional type deal?
Yeah.
And like make us feel bad?
Yeah. I think it was, hey, like we're going to like put you through the test. That was part of the larger test because remember when she sat her down and she made her kill
the other she's like, I'm you in 10 years, right?
Yeah.
And there's another thing, like, I don't really get that.
No, yeah.
Yeah,
no,
do you?
Yeah. I mean,
it kind of makes sense. Like, she lost it. She's not the one anymore.
Yeah. You mean you don't really get the like which part of it?
Like, why was she just thrown in there to like basically be the replacement? But at the same time, like, couldn't you just keep both around, or like what'd she do? Like
that. I mean, I don't think it's really meant to make sense, to be honest. But yes, I know what you mean. Like, it's like what the heck?
Yeah.
I do think it's like demonstrating the larger point of like they put her to the test on all fronts, physically, mentally, like emotionally. The fact that they threw out like her best friend, like,
and they were just like, that's what it is.
Yeah.
So
and that girl that they made her sit across from, like, did she actually kill her?
Yeah.
Okay.
And that was crazy. Like,
and do we know like who she was meant to be, like her future self, but she was probably just another person.
She was probably exactly like the ballet, right? Stuff. And she said, I'm you in 10 years. So I assume she did like the same training, same stuff, right?
Gotcha.
And she, was going through the same jobs, right? She just did something, got tired of it, something, or broke a rule, and then got thrown in there for some reason.
Pretty intense.
Yeah.
So like, okay, one thing going off of this is it's interesting that I found like kind of it like quirky and corny, the fact that they're in it's a ballet program that also trains you for, because am I tripping, or is it like, am I understanding correctly that it's a training like martial arts and ballerina in one?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So I find that,
but they like don't show the martial arts one. They like put the ballerina
it's like
stuff
their
as
front,
a front. Yeah.
as a front, right? I mean, I guess I get that. I think it's a poor excuse to make the whole movie called Ballerina. I don't think it's really that
fair, because there was also like guys in there, and I'm not saying guys can't be ballerinas,
I
right?
am.
Okay. I've seen your skills, bro. Like
my troll is on another level, bro.
They see you doing that at the trades.
Yeah. They said get that man a job. That man's a plumber.
So yeah, like I assume they have other fronts. It can't just be the one ballet stuff. Because was John Wick a ballerina?
No.
Okay, no. So there you go.
John Wick was not about ballerina.
So I don't know, like, how he got affiliated with the director and all that.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I don't know. That would be interesting. I kind of like that segment. I like the idea of like you writing down 3 things and then we just like throw it over to you, because often sometimes when me and Seth are like talking, sometimes you don't necessarily have too many opinions sometimes. So I think that would be cool to like have you like share some thoughts and like call it like Sam's notepad. I kind of like that.
Yeah, I have a lot of thoughts I just forget.
Yeah, so you got to write them down. I like that idea. So, as we kind of gear down, continue to gear down, what do you think are there any like overlying themes or messages for this John Wick, for this Ballerina movie? I know it's like an action movie.
Yeah, so
take it for what it is. But is there anything that connected with you on a larger scale or a deeper scale?
Like the closest I could see like as a message or like a theme would be like family.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Because they were like, one, for the cult, they were like, hey, this is your family. We're all connected, and all that. Right? And then there was also like, hey, you killed my mom, my dad, my family, all I got. So there was a lot of like focus on family.
Sure.
And like,
the importance of it.
Groups. So I guess that's like the most you could get out of it. But at the same time, it's not a good message.
Yeah,
She went out to kill all these people,
Sure.
like because of
If I had to connect this to like a larger theme or message, I was thinking about it at the end of the movie, because after the movies, I always like to like, okay, so what is this saying about life? What is this saying about this and that? I feel like the moment at the very end when John Wick has his finger on the trigger and he has a sniper angle, and Ana de Armas, her character, shoots everybody in the Chancellor's car, and then he gets out of the passenger and he walks towards her, and he's trying to convince her, he's telling her all these lies, and then she's like, you can see it in her performance, like she does a great job of conveying this emotion where like she's believing it, like she's feeding into it, and then like something snaps in her head, and she's like, oh, I don't have to, and then she shoots him. I feel like it could be I feel like that gave me kind of the theme or message of like believing lies about yourself, like you don't have to believe these lies,
what
like
other people
the world
say.
is going to tell you what other people are going to tell you is not true. You have to know for yourself, like who you are, what you can do. I think that's what a message I connected with was.
I like that, but I'm gonna like completely
swerve
and
I'm
like
a swerve in my coat of
and in fact invalidate what you're saying.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So I think she was like, oh, this guy is like, he's kind of spitting right now, right? Like she put the gun down, right?
Yeah.
And then
speaking facts.
And then you said she switches, right?
Yeah.
What I think just went through her head, she's like, oh, it's 11:59.
Boom. Yeah. She just saw the time.
Yeah.
And she said you have to go.
I think that's what that was.
Hey,
so.
that is a valid reading, and I'm not saying mine is correct, because it's just an interpretation.
Yeah,
but
of course.
I feel like if we're gonna pull anything out of it, I feel like that would be the only thing
message,
that we could pull out of it. So after seeing this movie, do you feel any more compelled to go to watch the other 4?
Yes, the John Wick ones, I feel like I do want to watch them.
Yeah.
But it didn't like make me love John Wick's character, right? Like I like him, right? He has aura.
Yeah, he has aura.
He has aura.
That man has aura.
But I still haven't fallen in love with that character. I would have to watch his movies, I feel like.
Okay.
And I think they did a kind of a good job, like not focusing on him at all.
Yeah.
Well, not at all, but like they didn't like wedge him in and like outshine the main actor.
Yeah.
So,
No, I feel that too. I feel like this was a good, like, delicate, created movie that it gave fans what they wanted in terms of the action. It gave them Keanu Reeves in there for a not overbearing role. Like we got one action scene with him. We got him there at the beginning and there at the end. And the end, he really didn't do anything. Like, I feel like that this was a delicate, intentional way to weave him into the story. I thought it was good. The action was good. The main actor is good. So I feel like you can't really complain about this movie. Like the John Wick heads, which I know some, are going to be happy with this.
And I know we don't like giving like subjective ratings, right?
Yeah.
But if you had to rank this, like dog, mid, and like peak.
Yeah.
Or where do you put it?
Sure. I mean, I give it a mid for sure.
Mid?
I did not think it was dog. If we're going to talk about a number scale, I gave this a 7.
7? That's a pretty, yeah.
What would you give it?
I would say maybe a 6.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a movie I would say I would recommend.
Yeah.
Right? If you're looking for an action film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you normally like action films? And what are examples of other action films that you've seen?
That I've seen? To be honest, I'm not big for action films, right? But like I enjoy them when I do. But I don't go out of my way to go look for them.
Sure.
The closest I get to action, right, is like when it's from like part of the story, like because they have to go against a certain opposing force to develop the story.
Yeah.
But like same thing here, right? But like it's more story based rather than action based.
Sure. That makes sense. Yeah.
What about you? Do you go for action a lot? I know you go for comedy a lot.
I go for comedy. No, I don't really go for action that often. I find them to be okay, like so. Normally, I'm not really into it. John Wick films are the exception. Like I very much enjoyed John Wick films. I thought each one got better and better. Like John Wick 1, 2, 3, and 4. Each one went up in my.
So they just kept going. Okay, that's good.
Yeah, and 4 is the last one. And spoiler alert: John Wick dies at the end of 4.
See, I thought that might happen, right? Because you said this started at like around 3, right? So,
during the events of 3. Yeah. It's funny because even my girlfriend, like I invited Eve to come watch this with us, and she was like, "Yeah, it's action, right?" And I'm like, "Yeah," and she's like, "Yeah, no, I'm good. I'm good."
You should have told her the main character was named Eve.
David, yeah. I found that to be interesting and funny that the main character was Eve.
You just looked at me. You were
yeah. Hey, I know her. As we continue to wind down, I'm gonna just do a little short inside scoop.
Yeah.
Real quick, and I just have a couple facts for us. The Jan Jong, who played in this movie, who
was he the boss that they fought in the club at the first few scenes on her first mission?
Why can't I? Jane Jong. I don't even see her on the thing.
Oh.
Huh. Am I tripping? Let me see if
well, what's the trivia? Maybe we can get more context.
Dun, dun, dun. Maybe I have the wrong film.
Is that the
Oh yeah.
Oh, is that the 2017 one?
Yeah.
Yeah,
the Ballerina.
When I was looking it up, I was like, there's 2 versions.
While I look this up, Sam.
Yeah, just a few closing thoughts.
Yeah.
Or what do you think?
Yeah, give some closing thoughts on this film.
So, one more thing I did want to mention, because I saw Elijah vibing out to this movie. It was the score. I think Elijah enjoyed the beats that were in this, right? And to be honest, I agree. They were good, but it was mainly just like, boom, 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 to like build up suspense. So it just fits the movie. I think they did a great job with that.
Yeah.
I don't know who the composed or who did the score.
Me either.
But, what do you think about it?
It was gas.
Yeah?
Yeah. I very much enjoyed it. All right, so going into the inside scoop. Can you do the inside scoop?
Wait,
inside scoop.
Scoop. All right, I got to remember the jingle.
Yeah, soundboard coming soon, though. So this, speaking of our guy, Lance Reddick, who is the guy that I talked about when you check in the hotel, it's his second to last role before his unexpected death.
Oh, okay. So
I don't know when they filmed this or if they just took it.
I guess it was just maybe in production.
I guess so. I'm not sure. Norman Reedus, our guy, was in between filming seasons of The Walking Dead.
Of course.
So Daryl Dixon, what was his character on The Walking Dead? He had to keep the haircut.
The long hair.
He was filming The Walking Dead.
That's funny.
That's interesting, right?
I don't think the hair took me out of it. So
no, I mean, it definitely just it just gives that. Here's something that's interesting. The original release date was June 7th, 2024, and it got pushed back a year to June 6th. So that might have to
so a whole year.
Yeah, so that might have to do with the whole Lance Reddick.
Like, it was probably, way in development for a while.
Yeah.
That makes sense. I don't know why they delayed it, but...
Yeah, I'm not sure. Okay, and then for our last piece of the inside scoop, according to The Wrap, Chad Skelsky, who is the director, which I still don't know if I'm saying it right, he reshot most of the film after disapproving of Lynn Wiseman's original cut. So that was probably the year delay. Reshoots took place in Paraguay, which is where that Continental was, for 2 to 3 months without Wiseman's involvement. One insider said, "Of course, Chad had to clean up somebody else's mess. Remember, this film is basically John Wick 3.5. This story happens before John Wick 4, and after that film, they can't have a failure in anything Wick related."
Dang, that's crazy. So it was directed by Lynn's, but Chad basically directed
that's
most
fascinating.
of it. That's weird. I guess that's why they delayed it. But I want to see the original cut now.
Yeah, right.
Like, what could be so bad?
I know. That's easily the most interesting piece of inside scoop for this episode. I think that's crazy. So like Lynn Wiseman didn't really do it apparently. If he and Seth had mentioned to me that he cleaned up a bunch of it. So yeah, isn't that very interesting?
Yeah, I really want to know what they changed. So if any of the Goldfish Boys viewer have the, unseen footage,
send it our way.
It
looks like Lynn Wiseman has not directed very much, so I'm not surprised. And I feel bad for Chad Stelsky.
You feel bad for him?
Yeah,
I feel bad more for Lynn because
he probably didn't get paid.
That's true. He didn't even get credit.
No, yeah, he's not the director of the movie, but apparently he went up and cleaned it all. But I'm glad he did because my guess is like with the trailers that we saw early
Oh, you
on,
think
that was all? Who is this?
And that's why you
Lynn
weren't
Wiseman
as
stuff. Yeah. And then Chad got his hands on it, and he turned it into what it was. So very interesting piece. Yeah. But yeah, any closing thoughts other than what you've said?
I would just say if you haven't seen this and you're looking for like a good action film, especially for one like releasing this year, definitely go watch this.
Yeah, absolutely.
And in theaters, like I feel like this is an in theaters experience.
I think so too.
Yeah. Like actually, we both showed up late to the movie.
Yeah. I always do.
And
to be fair.
I thought I wasn't gonna be let in, and I was gonna tell Elijah, I'm ready to just buy this and watch this on my phone in my car.
Which is crazy, but Sam has so much commitment when it comes to watching movies. One time, I remember one time that me and Seth were watching a movie, and Sam was gonna be late. And so Sam started watching the movie, like he bought it in his car and started watching it while me and Seth. But then his thing ended early, and he was able to make it on time. So he just bought the movie for nothing.
Just so I could like be caught up with you guys.
Yeah, that's insane. So, but I love your commitment though. It's awesome. So I think that sounds good. That's a good wrap on this movie. I thought this was a good break from our mafia stuff as we're kind of in between season 1 and season 2.
It is a nice little break.
Yeah.
It was still like mafia filmed our action.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm waiting to see like, maybe our next film is like
something else.
Completely
and it
different.
will be. Yeah. Yeah. Our next film for the viewers that me and Sam are going to do while Seth is away is The Materialists, which is Celine Song's new film. That will be probably the Monday after this. And so we're going to do that. It's with Chris Evans, Pedro Pascal, and Dakota. I forgot her first name.
But it's a romance movie.
It's another love triangle movie. So we've seen a lot of those recently. Or I've seen a lot of them.
You've seen a lot?
They came out a lot last year.
Really?
There's like Challengers. There was Past Lives is a love triangle.
I don't watch too many romance.
Okay.
Not that I don't enjoy them, but like
this will definitely be our first ever Goldfish Boys for romance because we've just been doing mafia.
Do you think tears will be shed? Do you think I'll be crying at the beginning of the pod?
I do not
this
think
movie?
so. No. But if you would, I think that would get some views. So I'd be supportive. But yeah, viewers, stay tuned for that and stay tuned for some solo pods that I'm going to be doing soon. So some solo pods. You got any closing thoughts, Sam?
I just say like, look forward to a lot of the stuff we're doing. We've been a little backed up, so sorry for that, but we're going to crank it out this coming month.
We're going to be consistent, right? Heck yeah. All right, Samuel, thanks for joining us in the playroom.
Yeah,
I'm glad that we got to do this together.
I loved watching the movie.
Yeah, it's fun. All right. That's it for our podcast. Remember, we drop movies every Monday, episodes every Monday. Normally there's 3 Goldfish Boys, and Seth shows us a classic or a film that he wants to show us, and we give our thoughts. Right now we're taking a break, and we're just kind of doing some new releases, but we hope that you'll stay in the loop for all our episodes. And that was it for Goldfish
Boys.
We'll see you later.